Don't wait for tomorrow. Live for today. Keep chasing the sunshine and go out and
And good evening. Welcome to another JK Deal Revealed. This evening, in the next 15 minutes or so, we are going to feature two more deals. Honestly, I could have probably featured 12 tonight because there's just so much. On top of these two, I got three more properties that I'm working for some Deal Butler clients, and I got another seven that came on, and shit, I forgot. Another 39 just hit my office. Haven't reviewed them yet, but these are all amazing off-market opportunities, most of them with good, strong cash flow and discounts at purchase. So let's get started. Let me show you what I'm talking about. But it is nice to see you. We got some new and old here. So if you're in the room, don't be shy. Say hi. And if it's your first time, why don't you do a little hashtag JK and let us know if it's your first time here. I see a few names that maybe are first timers here, and I'd like to welcome you and welcome you back. Of course, Carolyn, hi there. Sylvie, good evening. Nancy, hi. Josiane, excellent. Tony, yo, how you doing? Anita, oh, sorry if my sound is choppy. It should settle. On my side, it looks like I got pretty good internet. So hopefully we are good there. So nice to see young and old, new and experienced on the call this evening. More hellos are coming in. Thank you for the little thumbs up too. So let's begin. What do we have? I put that there because I forget to mention, for those of you who are part of our community, we have an app now. So if you haven't downloaded the app, it's going to make it easier than ever to follow the courses, the trainings, and get this type of success that I talk about on these calls for yourself. And one last bus tour before the end of the year. That's only 2 weeks away now, 2 weeks and a day away. So if you'd like to have a nice picture of Cleveland with a nice group of people with some deals under your belt, consider our next epic bus tour. Well, you get to meet the Deal Butler in person. Okay, and We Mind Renovations #1 representative and mascot, Janie herself, will be there as well. All right, so what do we have today? What is the deal of the week? Like I mentioned, we have deals of the week. Deals of the week. We are going to first go to Cleveland. We're going to see if the numbers make sense on this single family home. $50,000 for this property. We're going to see if it's a pile of shit with a chimney sticking out, or if it's actually something that has potential for cash flow and discount. And then, just for funsies, we're going to see another deal. It's also in Ohio, but in a different city altogether, in Toledo. And this is a real opportunity. The Toledo opportunity is a real one. If you're interested, we can have a serious conversation as well. So the first one is from an anonymous community member. He preferred to keep his name outside. I don't know why. It's okay. Some people are a little bit shyer than others, but he submitted this deal and wanted a little bit of feedback on it. And so that's what we're doing here at the Deal Reveal. If you've got a deal that you'd like me to feature on the Deal Reveal, just send it in to us. info@jkrealestatepartners.com. You will enter the queue, and then we will do the Deal Reveal to really make sure that you understand these steps, how it doesn't take 5 hours to analyze a deal, get a really good sense of what's happening, and off to the races you go. So let me know if this is a deal or no deal in the next 5-10 minutes. Here we go. So the first property we have was this property in Cleveland. All right. We see actually that this property is already pending. All right. So I sure hope it's our community member who has it under contract for 50,000, because that's the information I had gotten when they submitted their deal to be revealed. So asking originally 60,000, looks like they got it under contract for 50, and it's a 4-1 single family home in Cleveland, 44105, so pretty close to Garfield Heights, a suburb, but in Cleveland. Let's take a quick look at the condition of the property. Got a little bit of wood siding, doesn't look like it's in terrible condition. The windows don't appear to be wood, which is another good thing. The roof, although a little bit of an arch here, seems to be in good condition. Inside, that looks tenanted, looks definitely livable. I'm just going quickly through to get a sense. Are we a full gut? Are we a turnkey? Okay, maybe the bathroom could use a little bit of love, right? There's probably some water that's been leaking around there. Look at that. There's missing the surround altogether. So not 100% turnkey, but overall, that that looks dry and ultimately pretty good. All right, so why do I love going to realtor.com? First, I get some pictures most times, and I'm able to get a sense of what three professional opinions of value say this property is worth. What are those three? Quantarium, CoreLogic, and Collateral Analytics. These are three they're mammoths of data in property appraisal, and they give it for you to you for free right here. And you follow this trend, and if you just continue along, you'll probably see that this property is, if you just follow the line all the way up to the end here, probably worth somewhere around $80,000 from this initial assessment here. So let's just go with that trend line. Let's say it's worth about 80. If you've got it under contract for 50, that gives you $30,000 of room to buy at a discount, meaning you could put $29,000 in renovation and still buy at a discount. You'd buy it at a $1,000 discount, but there's a $30,000 margin for you to buy equity from day one. So that obviously, if you get it under contract, you send out your inspector and your general contractor or your handyman, however the case might be for the size of the job, and they will say, this one needs 10K, needs 15, needs 20, needs 50. And then you can plug in your numbers and purchase price plus renovation, that number better be below its actual value, which we are estimating to be about 80,000 right out the gate like that. So that's the first golden rule of real estate. Are we buying at a discount? From the pictures and everything, really that tub surround was the only real thing. If this property is already tenanted, we don't need to do a whole lot to keep it tenanted. Rent, just continue increasing rents, bringing it up to market, and off we go. So from the pictures we saw, it looks like we'd be under 5,000 from the pictures we saw. Now there's the inspection that might reveal more, but we got a 30,000 spread to buy at a discount. So that's the first golden rule of real estate. Second golden rule is cash flow. So for cash flow, you can go and see what type of rents can you expect from this property in this area. And so this is the property address. It's just a 4-bedroom, 1-bath house. And from here, you can check rents, and we can get a sense of, on average, the rents are about 1,300 in this area. And if you did a complete rehab and you were top of the market, expect closer to 1,500. But that's probably not the play you want to have on this lower value property. It's really, how do you just make it perfectly livable, just nice, and get that nice solid average rent at 13 a month. Notice that this is our subject location right here. Right beside you have a green, right? And generally speaking, it's green, it's blue. Green means on the lower end of the spectrum. Blue is average, and if you have a red, you're on the top end. So it looks like we're closer to a green/blue area. So in this case, I would definitely take the lower of the average and medium, or even somewhere between the average and the 25th percentile. So to run my numbers on this one, I'd probably be at 12 to 1300 just for the quick deal reveal approach, the quick 5-minute approach here. I would use 1200 to 1300 on the property. If you knew for a fact that you were going to do Section 8, you could go directly into the CMHA rent determination and see that a 4-bedroom could pay up to 1,800, subtract utilities on a 4-bedroom, probably about 300 a month. So it could pay up to 1,500 with Section 8. And so that's the Section 8 approach. Just regular tenants, I'd be closer to the 1,200, 1,300. So maybe looking at all this, you're comfortable running a 1,300 a month with your numbers. So let's do that. So if you have 1,300 a month, you got 12 months a year, in Cleveland with these lower value properties, I'm comfortable with a 55% um, um, expense ratio. Well, actually, it's a 45% expense ratio, which makes it the 55% rule. So if you followed any of the courses or you've been on the deal reveal, what I'm doing is I'm going from gross income to net income using a quick trick multiplier, in this case, 55%, because the taxes on this property are going to be very, very low. So the 50% rule is actually probably too conservative. 55 is a more close, accurate representation, maybe even a 60% rule here, but let's stay conservative. So you take your gross income of 15,600, which I found by having the monthly rent times 12. And from there, I multiply by 0.55. I'm keeping 55% of that gross income, and that gives 8,580, which is our quick estimation of the NOI, the net operating income from this investment property if you had bought it cash. Now, I want to know how strong this property is performing. So if I'm making 8,600 a year and I'm buying it for 50,000 plus, let's say it's a $20,000 rehab, okay? If you take your 8,600 and you divide it by the total cost of this investment, which is purchase and rehab, 50 plus 20, 70,000. 8,600 divided by 70,000 is a 12.3, 12.257, 12.3% cash, well, cash on cash return or cap rate. If you bought this property cash, you'd be making a 12.3% return every year on that capital as a straight investment. From a single family home point of view, a 12 cap is very strong. That's because we're buying it at 50,000 and putting 20 into it. We're not buying a single family for 300,000 here. We're buying it for 50, and I budgeted like 20, which may be too high, might be too low to be determined. But we're somewhere in the zone of about a 12 cap, and we're somewhere in the zone of knowing that we have a $30,000 margin on the renovations to buy at a discount. So those are the two golden rules: buy at a discount, buy cash flow on this property. And so is this something worth pursuing for you? This is your turn. If this was your deal, is this a good deal or not so much a good deal for you? So this is the opportunity to chime in the chat, in the Q&A, and your reactions. Tell me, is this a deal or no deal? Okay? Readers want to know. All right, let me know. That's it. We spent 5 minutes. I explained a lot around it, but okay, Josiane thinks that one's a deal. Fantastic. Anybody else? Deal from Carolyn. Fantastic. And Melanie also had the comment that it looks like there might be room to add a bedroom in the basement, potentially. Very few basements in the Cleveland market are finished. And so that's really, is it going to be considered an official legal bedroom? Is there, or not? If it's not considered a legal bedroom, it will have more functional use than actually like an ARV or value usage of adding extra living square footage, finishing a basement, or adding a bedroom. But yes, good to keep in mind. Same thing is maybe adding a half bath can go a long way in the market desirability of a property. Nancy also thinks it's a deal. Fantastic. So that's it for the first property, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like we've got something worth considering here. We got a 12 cap cash flowing investment and potentially buying 10, well, hopefully 10 to 20,000 in equity day one. So that's the first one. And thank you to the anonymous community member who sent this in. Next time, hopefully you won't be shy and we'll get you up here and you can present your own deal on the next deal reveal. So that's the first one. This is Cleveland. You've seen a lot of Cleveland over the last couple of years. It's obviously a market we love very much. The numbers make a whole lot of sense. And it's our main market. We love it. But let's for a moment now switch gears and take a look at another property, another opportunity that is not in Cleveland, but actually is in Toledo. Okay, let's consider this one. I'm going to go quickly. I'm not going to go in because this strategy is actually not going to be a buy and hold. This, you might see why, is going to be a fix and flip. So we got this property out in Toledo. Purchase price $75,000. I will also add that that 75 includes closing costs and everything. So it's a true 75,000 purchase with a $55,000 renovation. So all in 130 to buy and rehab this property. On the back end, we have an ARV of 175. Actually, it's 180 to 190, but I'm being conservative because the strategy that we're employing, that we're thinking of employing for this, well, not thinking, we've decided to employ it, is a flip. And when you do a flip, it's not always looking to get top of market. What you want is do a very good job, attract a seller quickly, sell quickly, even if it is at a five, $10,000 discount to its market value. Time is money. You can't sit on a property over the winter or for 6 months. You got to be in, out, take your profit, move it, keep it moving. On that note, we just finished another flip. We got an accepted offer on a property, and I'll tell you a little bit about that because there's some learning in here. Bought it for 89, put in about 55, and we just got an accepted offer for 202. That's right. We had listed it for 2049. They counted at 202. They wanted us to pay the buyer's agent commissions and wanted to do a little repair in one of the bedrooms shelves. No problem. With pleasure. Off we go. So you see how we could have marketed this property for 220 and sat on it and waited and hoped to get a bite. But we marketed at 205, which was the lower of three other comps, and now we have a bite within 10 days of listing it. We're under contract. The only thing left is just for them to cross their financing and off we go. And if you follow the numbers, this is pretty close to a 50K gross spread on that flip as well. And so compare that, which was in a suburb of Cleveland, to this one in Toledo, buying for 75, rehabbing for 55 with an ARV of 180, 190, but with a quick sell at 175 for a pretty conservative 40K gross margin spread. So let me know really quick, is that a deal or no deal? Which golden rule of real estate is more important? In fact, is almost the only one that's important in a fix and flip. Is it cash flow or is it buying at a discount? Let me know. Let me know. No trick question here. Which one is it? All right. Rory thinks it's a deal. Fantastic discount. Tony, absolutely right. Nancy, you're absolutely right. If you're going to fix and flip, discount. Carolyn, you're right. You want to buy at a discount. So purchase and rehab need to be way below the actual value of the property because that's your margin. That's your profit margin. If you buy and rehab for what it's worth and you sell, you're not making any profit. All you did was manage a project, take the risk for no gain. And so we're looking for 50K profit margins for our flips. And typically we're flipping properties in the $200,000 to $300,000 range because those are the ones that are easier to gain access to $50,000 of equity spread. If you're in inner city Cleveland, the property is worth 90,000. Very hard to get a 50K spread. That means you would have to buy and rehab it for $40,000, sell it for 90, and then you'd have a 50K spread. Those deals just are, yeah, they don't happen very often, right? So when we get to the 200, 250, $300,000 range, we can get those larger discounts. Some of you might say, yeah, you could have refinanced, you could have bird this property and kept it as a rental. And you're right. But when you start getting to that 200, 250, $300,000 range, you can refinance, get most or all of your money back, yes, and then you'd rent it. But would that rent cover that higher mortgage and those higher expenses? Because the more a property was worth, the more insurance you have to pay. The more a property is worth, the more taxes are associated to it. And so everything is just more expensive with a with a higher value property from an operations, from a hold perspective. And so we have to factor that in. I particularly love properties that appraise between 125 and 150 for my hold, sometimes even lower. And for the flips is when you hit the $200,000 to $300,000 range. Not that you have to do it like that. I just really like those numbers. I call those my sweet spot numbers, my Goldilocks zone to do our investments. And we could go back to rental meter here, and we could put in that property 52222 Friar, which is in Toledo, and we could go 4 bedroom. Oh crap, is it a 1 or 1.5? I'm forgetting. Sorry about that. Let's just go for a 4-1 and check the rents on this. And look at that, right? The rents on this almost $200,000 value property is about, well, we'll do a rehab. So it'll be about 1,500, 1,450 to 1,500, because we will have put in, $55,000 of renovation. So we'll be at the top end of the market if we did rent it. And but you notice that here we're all in for 130, and we're renting it for 1450, 1500. Notice that ratio, right? We're really close to the 1% rule. And so there's not much cash flow in this compared to Force, the other property, right? It's being rented for about 1300, but you're all in for how much? 70, right? So you're all in for half and almost making the same rental income. That's one of the biggest powers of Cleveland, is that the rentals, the cost of rent is quite high compared to the value of the properties. That's what allows us to keep taxes low, insurance low, keep our cap rates high, keep our cash flow high. That's one of the main reasons why we love and continue to invest, and Cleveland is our main market. So, with that being said, we do have this opportunity in Toledo. We are going to buy it ourselves. And full transparency, I have three investors who are interested in joining us in this particular project. They just haven't green lighted yet. We are closing on this property next Wednesday, so in like 5 days. And if no one, shows up to the closing table, well, we'll buy it ourselves. But if anybody on the call is interested to join us on this particular project or any other project as a passive money partner, just reach out to us. We're willing to work together, see if we can make something happen. So how do you reach out to us? Like any other question you have, info@jkrealestatepartners.com. Thank you, JK team. You just posted in the chat. And so here we have an opportunity to jump in either actively with Force Avenue or passively with our Friar Avenue in Toledo. Either way, I think we have some pretty solid deals on the table this week. Thank you for joining on the deal reveal once again. The deals have been revealed. Now it's up to you to take action, and we look forward to seeing and hearing about your future deals and your future success. So, with that being said, just going to start wrapping up for the day. If you are in the greater Toronto area on Monday, so in 4 days, we will be up in Canada in Toronto. So October 7th, that's the Monday at 5:30. We are going to meet in Toronto, Woodbridge. And so if you're there, JK team, I'm sure you just put in the link. You did. Thank you so much. Just click on that. It is a free meet and greet that we can, rub shoulders. We can compare notes. We can network. We're going to do a little intro on U.S. real estate, and hopefully we can make some deals happen. If you're in the greater Montreal area, in November, we are doing a meet and greet in French, en français. And so, oh, and here's another fun thing. The meet and greet in Toronto is actually co-hosted with one of the past graduated proteges, Amanda. You've probably seen her in our community on Facebook. She's very active on social media. And so you'll have an opportunity to meet her. She's going to talk a little bit about her experience, her deals, her opportunities. And the Laval meetup is going to be in French and is co-hosted with Rainbow Real Estate Partners, another current one-on-one mentorship client of mine, Noemi and Kenuk. Hopefully you've seen them. They recently closed on their first deal in the US, a 19 unit in Cleveland, 4 buildings, 1 deal, an amazing story, which is being renovated and optimized as we speak. So you'll get to meet and hear about their story as well. Last thing, the Epic Bus Tour I mentioned at the beginning. There's one last bus tour in 2024, and that's going to be on October 19th and 20th here in Cleveland. So we're just about 2 weeks away. There are still some spots and VIP spots left on the bus. If you're interested, click on the link that's in the chat, JK team. I'm sure you're in there. jkrealestatepartners.com/bus tour. If you're considering the VIP option, here are the perks. Your accommodations are included for the entire long weekend. You have a whole extra half day of off-market and one-on-one proximity with Janie, myself, and our project manager, Vince. On the 18th, that's the Friday, we're going to go check some off-market larger deals on the Friday. Your meals are included, breakfast, lunch, and supper throughout the entire Saturday, Sunday weekend. And you have obviously all that one-on-one time with Janie and myself at the event, and after the event as well. So it's really a VIP experience with just more for you to chew on and more opportunities for you to take action on. And so, oh no, my little video is not working. Oh, is it? Yeah, Rocky, the address, just click on the link for the bus tour, not the bus tour, the Toronto meetup, and you'll see the address. It's in Woodbridge. Now, I don't know why this is not connecting. I had a little video of our last bus tour. I'll have to fix that. I'm sorry. That's too bad. And for those of you who are looking to, you're the DIY type, you want to do it yourself, join the All You Can Learn. That's really the first step in. Get the full education, get everything you need. And our promise is that we will support you until you get your first deal within that one cost for all the programs and everything, and we will keep you on until you get that first deal. That's what we have for you today. Again, we have an app, so regardless of where you are, we can be there with you on your phone, and we're here to support you. The JK coaches are here to support you, and we look forward to seeing your success now for tomorrow. So thank you so much, everyone, for your time. If you have any questions, just send us an email. Find a way to get a hold of us. Find myself or Janie on Facebook. Send us a message. Don't be strangers. We're here to help. We love you. Have a great evening. And for those of you who are on in the All You Can Learn Fast community, tonight in about half an hour, we're going to talk about a portfolio of 3 properties that I am negotiating right now for a Deal Butler client. And we're looking to buy these 3 properties, take over a mortgage, and basically buy 3 properties for about $60,000 that are already tenanted. Well, 2 of the 3 are already tenanted, but the third is rent ready to go. So basically, just jumping into cash flow day one and learning how to put a creative acquisition strategy, like a subject to the existing mortgage, to decrease the hassle of decrease the hassle of not going through financing, not paying for financing fees, delaying the closing, and giving more to the seller in the process, all at the same time. So that's what we love here. Thank you so much for joining yet again another deal reveal. For those of you who came a little bit later, sorry I wasn't able to say hi personally, but it's nice to see you here. Have a great evening, and we'll catch you at the latest next week. Have a great one.